As components get cheaper every day, it's getting easier to build a flexible and powerful gaming computer for an affordable rate. This is where this beastly $750 PC comes in. Welcome to Project Arrow. First off is the CPU. The CPU is quite important for this computer since it can and will be used for tasks like video recording, editing, and 3D modeling, alongside gaming. For this build, we chose the Intel Core i5-4440, and the i5-4440 is a 4-core CPU clocked at 3.1 GHz, and while you can't overclock it, it's a very powerful CPU, capable of video editing, gaming, and recording at 1080p 60 FPS. For the motherboard, we chose a MSI B85MG43, which is a good micro ETX board with little to no frills, but quite a lot of room for upgrade. As for memory, we chose 8GB of RAM from G-Skill. Again, unexceptional, but RAM doesn't really make a difference in gaming anymore. With the hard drive, we used a spare one from an old PC, but we are including a $45 storage device into the price for your convenience. Since we had a couple spare cases, we decided it was a good idea to at least use one of them, so we chose an old case. You should be able to buy a $30 case or downgrade the power supply while staying within the budget. Our PCU was a Corsair CX500. The Corsair CX series is a PC enthusiast household name at this point, so I'm sure you guys know all about their power supplies. This power supply has 2 PCIe power cords, so it'll allow you to get a better graphics card in the future. Finally, we get to the meat of a gaming PC, the graphics card. For this build, we went with the NVIDIA GTX 960. Since we decided to use a current generation i5, we couldn't go with a better AMD card. But the 960 should still run games at or above 60 FPS when playing at 1080p. First off, you want to remove the motherboard from its anti-static bag and place it on the cardboard box it comes with. Pull up the retention arm, take the CPU by both sides, align it with the triangle, and let it down gently into the socket. Pull back the retention arm, hook it back into the socket cover, and remove the plastic piece. Install the CPU cooler by pushing opposite corners of the pin until you hear a click, and route the fan cable to the motherboard header. Next, to install the RAM, open the tabs on both ends of the slots, align the notches on the stick and the motherboard, and push on both sides of the stick until the tabs click into place. Once we have everything installed, to verify that the setup is working, we'll need to route the 24-pin motherboard connector and the 4-pin CPU connector from the power supply to the motherboard. Then plug the power supply in, route the power wire from the case to the motherboard, and turn it on. If the fan spins, it passes. To install the motherboard into the case, start by unplugging the wires you just connected, screwing in the standoffs into the case, inserting the motherboard, then screwing in the screws into the standoffs. Next, insert the power supply into the case and screw it in. Install the hard drive, then plug in the motherboard and hard drive cables. Finally, in the build, we're going to insert the graphics card. To add the graphics card in, remove the brackets from your case. Place the GPU on the first PCIe slot and then screw it in to hold it in place. Now, just install Windows and your drivers and your PC is done. Unfortunately, some of your favorite games may not be included into these benchmarks because we simply don't have them. But we will be including some interesting games that are not usually included into benchmarks, mainly because they are not as intensive as other games. For PlanetSide 2, we get an average of 70 FPS. For Space Engineers, we get an average of 38 FPS. And for Dirty Bomb, we get an average of 120 FPS. With 3D Mark, we got a score of 6,313 on Firestrike. In conclusion, Project Arrow is a very powerful system for content creators, gamers, and it has excellent upgradability, which is why this build is recommended for content creators, PC enthusiasts, and gamers alike. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you guys next time.